Chop wood, carry water. I'm sure many of you have heard that before. The idea is quite simple. When the mind wants to step in, right? Especially now, we have so many videos. There's so many videos. There's so much content. Instagram scrolling. There is so many different ideas and worldviews, and we have massive amounts of information. They say different people say different things. 10,000 thoughts a day, 50,000 thoughts a day. All of these thoughts can pull us into just living in our minds, living, thinking here. It was a problem for me for a long time. And action slices through that. Chop wood, carry water is a way of sometimes just doing those simple tasks every day can pull you away from the thinking mind, which is really, it's tormenting. It'll tell you all the reasons you can't do something. It'll build you up and tell you how wonderful you are, and most of them are just, they're just noise. They're not true. I often reflect on the idea of, like, for every 1,000 thoughts someone has, maybe one or two of them are true. And this isn't, don't quote me on that, but I'm sure we can all reflect on the things that we think, so many different things, and those negative thoughts that come up, because majority of them negative, right? There's uh there's common knowledge that it's like people will remember one negative experience over 10 positive experiences or something like that, because that negative stands out. We're so, maybe it's that protective part of us, right? That animal survival part of us that looks for that negative or the thing we got to look out for, right? It's that fear-based part of us. How do we protect ourselves, right? So we have all these negative things, and we talk ourselves out of situations. At least I have much of my life, right? It was one of the reasons why I chose not to make a YouTube channel for so long, because I'm going to put out content. And what if somebody takes me out of context? What if I say this the wrong way? What if this screws up my reputation? Whatever it may be. And it wasn't until just saying, no, do it, failing forward, right? So the 1,000 reasons that would tell me not to make a video and not to enter the arena and not do that. And it can be applied to all those things, not going up to that girl that you're interested, or not making that commitment, or not going, taking the chance and going for that job interview, or not taking the chance and creating your own business, right? We get in our own heads with that stuff, right? The problem in our world, one of the big problems, is that there's so much information. There's so many possibilities now that we can get so wrapped up in the idea that I don't know which way to go. I don't even know where to start. I don't know what to do. And, this idea of chop wood, carry water, do what you can. I've made a video, it's a similar thing. A lot of this is trying to make the complex simplified, right? Because we have the idea of just, what if this goes wrong? What if this goes wrong? What if this goes wrong? And paradoxically, that can be part of the process, right? Think about the worst case scenario, think about it. The play won't be the worst thing. And being in a place where you can accept that, because at the root of accepting it, and I've spoken on this before, at the root of the ego is death. What if I lose? What if I don't exist anymore? And that's the birth of, what I plan to put out with my series with Born Again Men, with other people, talking about their negative experiences and the ability to reframe it. That's how we become truly positive, right? Not by, believing fake positivity. It's not real, right? Just be happy, and you put on this happy face, and then that's not real. Or, you know, um, people will, there's this magic pill that will help you. And, it just masks those thoughts that are coming up, and you need to challenge them with those few thoughts that are actually true. And those few thoughts are rare. And you think about in the world right now, because I think we're all interconnected in a ways that we can't even fathom. But play with this idea, right? That we are all connected, and maybe everyone's negative thoughts are our own, and we're all putting these things out. We feel it. We know intuitively when we're around people who are real, who are authentic, people we can trust, right? You know it when you're around in the presence of someone who's just real. You just know it, right? When I say real, that they're just positive, but around negative times, they know the words to say. They have wisdom within themselves, right? You know it. And when you're around someone who's just saying that thing that you ought to say, right? The, like, robotic answer. Oh, don't be sad. It's like, no, bro, I'm sad right now. Yeah, I feel like crap right now. So you give an allowance for people to feel that way, right? But then the second part of that is inviting them to really, okay, what are you going to do about it? Right? What are you going to do about it? So if you got to cry, you got to feel that pain, you do it. You let that come. Let it come. Don't, there's a process of just letting, but don't live there. Don't dwell there. See those thousands of thoughts and say, okay, I see you 997 thoughts. You guys are going to be there. You're not going away. In fact, see it as massive invitation to say, you know what? I've listened to these thousands of thoughts for so long. Why don't I listen to this one or two that is saying, hey, you know what? Do what you can. Get in shape. Go for a walk every day. Implement these small wins. You've heard it before. There's plenty of channels on YouTube that say, do what you can with what you have where you're at. It can be going for a walk. It can be reading 5 pages of a book per day. It can be, and just keep yourself accountable for those small things, right? And you're going to fail forward. Continue to do it, track it, stay accountable, and just focus in on those few things that you're in control of. Because the truth is, most of the things, right, we're not in control of. But the sad part is, the few things that we are in control of, we don't even take responsibility for those things. That's something that I didn't do for a long time, right? Because what if I don't act the right way? What if those things I do it leads me to, again, thought that's not in control? What would be a positive thing for you where you're at right now? Take control of those things and let go of the other thousands of thoughts. They're going to be there. They're not going away, right? The guilt, the shame, the worrying about the future, the regrets about the past. Trust me, I'm there too. It's not going away. So focus on that which is in your control, right? And the things that are in control, it's not much. But you'll be amazed by taking responsibility for the things that you can do. If you're overweight, the best thing that you can do is to get in shape. Get in shape. It doesn't stop there, right? You have to peel back those layers, and you have to ultimately see things as they are. If you're fat, overweight, what that means is that you've given in to all of those negative thoughts. If you're not disciplined, you've given into those negative thoughts. And those negative thoughts affect all of us, right? You're not special in the sense that you have depression. We can all share a pain. We have different levels of pain, right? We have different levels of guilt and shame and fear and rejection and all of those things that hold us back from our full potential, right? So I invite you to reframe those negative thoughts as indicators. And those indicators do not go away. They don't go away. They just get louder and they get more. There's going to be more than it. If you have 10,000 thoughts and let's just say 3 of them are positive, well, eventually it's going to become 2 and eventually it's going to become 1. And as that voice gets loud, that's your calling to be the best version. Go take that risk. Go after what is going to bring you fulfillment. And the 10,000 things too, a lot of them are traps, right? So take some time to find that peace within. Take 5 minutes a day, right? In the morning and at night. Just take 5 minutes and just shut up. Let the thoughts come. Let them be there. Just watch them. Don't be stuck in the entertainment. Don't be stuck in escapism. I've mentioned it on this channel. For me, it was porn. Every time I felt that uncomfortable feeling where those thoughts were getting up really loud, instead of facing them and letting them be there and then listening and then saying, hey, you know what? What's true? What can I do? And you'd be amazed at what those intuitive thoughts are telling you. That's God speaking to you. That's that peace within that when you expand that, then when that script flips, forget about it. Then it becomes 10,000 positive thoughts and like 3 negative thoughts. And you'll never go back the other way, right? But because we've been so conditioned to be comfortable and stay protected and not take risks at all, right? I'm not saying be stupid. I'm not saying just go run naked all around your street and just be like, oh, I'm taking a risk, right? But you're taking risks. You're saying, hey, you know what? I don't know if this is going to work out, but this is what I want. And go after it. And the chop wood, carry water idea is that you start simple. You start with those small wins. If you're someone who is completely negative, just doing those little things, going for a walk, right? Or if you're someone who has things in order, maybe you're someone who it's about getting out of that comfort zone. So you're comfortable in all situations, right? If you don't like going to the in-laws or you don't like because you have to be fake, start speaking the truth. Start having real conversations with people, right? If you're someone who's just like brutally honest, maybe give somebody a hug. Maybe do so because this is getting into the flow state. This is the idea of growing in love, right? Seeing yourself in other people and realizing that everybody's dealing with the same thing collectively. It may be expressed differently, but we're all dealing with the same human condition. Your suffering is my suffering. So when we see other people suffering, that's our suffering, right? So fixing those problems and starting with yourself, right? The best thing that you can do for other people is fixing your own suffering because then naturally you know what to say for to help other people to do the right thing instead of I'm going to do the nice thing or I'm going to, say the thing to make people feel good. It's fake. It's fake. So chop wood, carry water, identify with the few thoughts out of the sea of thousands of thoughts of entertainment and negativity and pulling you into direction that's not going to help you, right? For me, it's making some of these videos and inspiring, say, hey, you know what? The human condition is mine too. I go through those things too, those doubts, those fears. Instead of complaining about it, take massive action. Make a short video, share some ideas that will help other people and say, hey, you know what? We're not alone. This is something I can do. Chop wood, carry water, go to the gym, simple things, going for a walk, expanding your comfort zone, small wins every single day, and focused on the small little voice within that leads you to massive wins. Small wins over time become those massive wins.